Just imagine this, every 10 minutes that you study, you are going ahead of 10 people. The interviewer doesn't want to know what my previous experience was. He wants to know more about what my fundamental understanding is. Now, everyone says linear regression is basic, but if you go and ask someone what linear regression is or how does it work, they won't be able to tell the actual intuition. But they want to know how you can think and how you can know which algorithm to be used. I really had a good group of friends in my class. That was a very big advantage for me.
Welcome to Podcast Diaries by the School of Computing. I am your host Joel John, and today we are joined by a very special guest, Abilash S, who got recently placed at BNY. Hi Abilash, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. So, in the start, can we hear a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Abilash. I'm currently in my final year. I'm pursuing my BTech in computer science with specialization in AI and ML. I've done multiple internships at renowned organizations like Sony, Samsung, ISRO, and startups like Zocket.ai. I recently did my internship at BNY as a summer intern, through which I got a pre-placement offer. Apart from internships, I have won 5+ hackathons. I've done various in-house projects, and I also am currently the department topper with a CGPA of 9.98. Apart from technical stuff, I love playing badminton and chess.
Wow, that's great. Can you tell me also a bit about your placement journey? How was it from the beginning, from the registration phase to the final offer letter?
Yeah. So it was pretty standard like any other company. There was an initial registration form that we have to fill, after which the online assessment happened. Around 2,500 students participated in the online assessment, after which there were around 40 to 50 students who got shortlisted for the interview process, which happened at Wayne Square. The interview process was around 2 to 3 rounds, depending on the person who was giving the interview. So the first round was more about how I did in the past 3 years, my internship experience, and more deep dive into my resume and my problem solving ability. Along with that, the questions were more about how I was able to navigate a problem and how I'm able to quickly think when there is a particular problem in hand. That round went about for around 1 hour, and then I progressed to the second round, which was more about the deep technical skills that I had, a more in-depth understanding, which went on for around 1 hour again. So they asked questions around JVM, JREs, and core concepts like COA, OS, DBMS, CNN. And there were more questions on the mathematical intuitions behind machine learning algorithms, how I implemented them in my internships. So that's what the second round was. And the later part was a HR round where I was asked scenario-based questions. For example, how would you navigate a problem when there is a conflict in your team? So those kind of questions were asked, and the interview finally ended with a puzzle, a small puzzle, after which I got the offer letter.
So that sounds very intense, but can you please elaborate on what was the round that you found most difficult personally?
For me, the second round, the second technical round was the most difficult. Why I would say this is because the interviewer doesn't want to know what my previous experience was. He wants to know more about what my fundamental understanding is. So that is very important when you go to corporate. It's more important that you know the underlying concept behind whatever you apply. So the questions were continuously aimed at how well I can think, how well I know about the fundamentals. So that round was a bit tricky since every question that I was forced at, the questions were more on the fundamental intuitions.
Okay, so this being a very tech-driven top financial company, I am sure your technical skills were also put to the test very deeply. So can you explain what specifically in the tech aspect they asked you?
So in the tech aspect, in the interview?
Yes, in that.
Yeah, so in the interview, it was more focused on the backend since ML applications in fintech was just in the boom. So more questions were on how would you use a particular algorithm in a particular financial use case, and more questions were on Spring Boot, Java, and how does JVM JREs work? How would you design if you had to design it from scratch? And a bit of a touch on LLDs, low-level designs. So the question was more on back-end focused. along with whatever experience I had.
That sounds great. So, for all this, how did you prepare? How was your placement preparation like? Did you use any specific platforms, or did you have a group of friends who you had discussions with, or any mock rounds that you did on your own?
So my placement preparation started just like any other people would have started. So I started with learning machine learning since I was interested in that. I started with YouTube tutorials that are available. I started to take notes. Every day I sit consistently for 2 to 3 hours to prepare. Apart from that, I also realized that DSA plays an important role in clearing online assessments as well as in technical interviews. So I started to prepare for that as well. Along with that, I really had a good group of friends in my class. That was a very big advantage for me because the kind of environment that you are in really matters. Those people influence you. So I always had that fire in me to do better every day. And I just wanted to be consistent in whatever I do. Every day, 2 to 3 hours of learning, whatever it may be. And in 3 or 6 months, when I see back, I was in a much better state than I was before. So that's how.
That sounds very inspirational, at least to me. So, if someone wants to learn, let's say, machine learning from scratch, where do you think they should start from? Do you think they should be making basic regression models at first, or maybe they should be fine tuning models? Like, where do you think someone should start?
So, as far as algorithms are concerned, we first need to start with the very base, that is how the algorithm is actually working. Now, everyone says linear regression is basic, but if you go and ask someone what linear regression is or how does it work, they won't be able to tell the actual intuition behind it. So that's where interviews are all about. People know that you can implement any algorithm, but they want to know how you can think and how you can know which algorithm to be used. Because only if you know that you can apply them at the right place. So if you want to start it from scratch, I would say go with the mathematical intuition behind the algorithm.
So, you're kind of suggesting not just knowing these algorithms, but to understand it properly.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, every placement journey, as we know, is very challenging. There are a lot of people struggling with this. What was the biggest challenge that you faced particularly?
So for me, I wanted to balance everything. That was one challenge. By balance, I mean I need to maintain my CGPA, which was personally for my scholarships. Along with that, I also have to keep up with my DSA and other placement preparations, which also consumes significant amount of time. Along with that, I also had to manage 3 to 4 internships during a semester, along with 2 or 3 projects, which was quite hectic. So at that point, maintaining and balancing between these was pretty challenging. And if we are able to figure that out, I think we can come out.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm going to stay away from the topic for a second. So, how did you manage your career, your professional life, and at the same time you kept up with your social life?
As far as social life, I used to use my weekends for exploring, going outside. But during my weekdays, I mostly focus on preparation for
Okay.
placements.
All right, cool. So, what about the college? How did the university support you? Did they have any specific programs or something that you used specifically?
As of my department, they had a lot of opportunities coming in, starting from internships, projects. So the kind of exposure that I got in my department was something that I can never be grateful, any more grateful. So the kind of exposure that I got was that there were so many opportunities in hand, and it's your duty to just be competitive enough around your circle. That's all we have to do. So the college really helped me well in providing with opportunities, being lenient on whenever I want to go for internships, and the flexible schedule was even more better.
Okay, that's nice. So, more about the college. A lot of students that I study with, and even myself, we feel a lot of the times, why are we learning this subject? Is this even useful? Is this applicable in real life? So, just like that, what subject specifically from our curriculum would you say is the most helpful or actually used in a real world scenario?
So as you said, we may think, why do we even need this subject? But that's where people miss that point. So consider some core subjects like C and OS, PBMS notes, for example. those subjects, if you just cover whatever is there in the syllabus, you don't even need to prepare apart from that for the placement.
Oh.
So that's where people miss. So they think that if they are not able, if there are some subjects in college, they don't know to find the purpose behind it. If they are just trying to focus during that class hours, it would be more than enough. They don't have to sit for separate hours to prepare those core concepts.
So for these subjects, instead of wasting time in class, you should be utilizing those hours as well, so you don't have to put in extra
Yes.
hours. Okay, got it. So yeah, that's nice. And throughout your whole college journey, which is almost coming to an end now, what would you say was your favorite moment? Is there anything that you can highlight that is a dear memory to you?
So, favorite moments, there are many. So, I enjoyed being with my friends. I enjoyed every class hours. But if there is something special that I would like to mention, it's that, so I was doing my internship at SO during the month of July and August, and that's when I got the shortlist mail for BNY, and I had to be present in college the next day. So I don't want to miss this opportunity. So I took a midnight flight and then I came here and I attended the interview process and I got the offer and then I returned back the very evening to go. So that was one big risk to take
Yeah.
and that was fruitful at the end. So that was one really good.
So, do you have any key takeaways for juniors who are just starting their placement process?
So for the juniors, I would say consistency is very, very important. It's not just that word. So if you go behind the consistency, you will see that people who really put in 2 to 3 hours every day, they'll be at a very better stage than they were before. Just imagine this, every 10 minutes that you study, you are going ahead of 10 people. That's the kind of narrative that you should have here. If that kind of narrative you have, you will never need any motivation. So that's one thing. Second thing is, there will be so many people, you can't satisfy everyone. So instead of focusing on satisfying others' things, you just start to work on what your concerns is. Be consistent and don't feel shy to reach out to seniors or anyone else.
And one final question that I have is, how did you find your internships? And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering this because I've heard a lot of people saying they're struggling to find internships. They don't know how to approach a company. So, what do you have to say?
For internships, there are many mediums to approach. One is if you have a very good network, whether it's professors, seniors, or other founders in startups, your network is a wealth that you have. So if you have a good network, you can easily get an internship, provided you have the right skills and you have the right communication skills to sell yourself, saying that I will be able to do this particular job. Apart from that, searching for internship is not should not be something that you do only when you are ready. I have seen many people, they only start to search or start to apply when they feel that they are ready. You'll never be ready. So I would say you just have to start applying and then whatever comes for you, you do start.
Okay, so you should not wait for the right moment. You should just start.
Everything is the right time. So just start.
That's really great to hear. So, for all the juniors watching, if you had one piece of final advice, what would you say?
I would say believe in yourself. You have everything you need. You don't have to search it outside. Just bring that motivation together and stay consistent. You will get it.
That is some wonderful advice, Abilash. And we are coming to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here and sharing this wonderful message. And congratulations on your most recent success. Thank you so much.